What's happening, everybody up there on Instagram? And hello, everybody down here on Facebook Live. I love that. Welcome to another edition of Live from My Mother's Basement with yours truly, comedian Mike Marino. We're going to have a lot of fun tonight. We're going to sing, we're going to laugh, we're going to eat, and we're probably even going to cry. This is one of my favorite entertainers in the world, who's making her second appearance, but first appearance on this show, but second appearance here in the basement. This is Vanessa Racci. Oh, she does her own drum roll. Let me do that, ladies and gentlemen. Vanessa Racci.
Hello, ciao tutti.
Oh man, she's more Italian than anybody I know. She's the first person to actually say hello in Italian on my show. Thank you so much for doing that. What's up, everybody? Hang out. We're going to have some fun. We're going to talk about what's going on in the world. And we're going to learn about Vanessa, her singing career, and of course, the future of her, I would say, acting career. Because when you come on my show, you never know what's going to happen. Right?
Intriguing.
Now, quite some time ago, you came down to the basement and did the show that we were calling the Not So Late Show with Mike Marino.
Yes.
I believe you were one of the first actors to actually come down and do that. Singers.
Cool. Singers, yes.
Who did we have on the show with you that day?
Chris Monti.
Chris Monti, our fellow comedian friend Chris Monti, came down to the basement. Let me see why I don't see anybody
Very
writing
nice
in
guy.
right now. You know, he's a great guy. He's a very funny guy. I always thought he was Jewish, but he's not.
He's got a big schnoz.
Shoot, I can't see anybody writing in on this side. Are you guys on your Facebook? Is your husband on his Facebook account? Are you on your
Hey, sweetie,
Facebook
can you
account?
check?
Yeah. Do you see people writing into the show?
I'm going to it now.
Because for
Why
some
does she-
reason
we-
or other,
They're supposed to be over here,
yeah,
right? Yeah.
it's there, but it's not. Every once in a while that happens. I don't know why that happens, but it does. But anyway, so Chris Monti came down. He was the comedian on the show, and we were doing this thing about being in the gym.
Oh, yeah, that was funny.
And then you knocked it out of the ballpark with your singing.
Oh, there's somebody.
All right, Renata, how you doing? All right, right in, everybody. Keep on going. I hope you can hear us. I hope you're ready to have some fun. We're going to take questions, of course, for Vanessa in a little while. But let us get into the show and see what's going on in the world. So she sang on the show that we called the Not So Late Show. We stopped it for the summer because so many people were going on vacation. And it's so hard to get people to come down to the basement in North Jersey when the weekend everybody goes down south. So we're going to restore that in September. So maybe you'll come back on that show and sing
Sure.
some songs.
I would love that.
And of course, I wanted so badly for you to come to this basement show, hang out, talk a little bit, talk about your career, tell us where we could find you.
Sure.
And the big thing that you dropped that night about not going to do anything but sing.
Yeah.
Right now, let's find out what's going on in the world. While we were watching the news, we noticed that there was a real asshole on the subway.
Yeah, he was.
Isn't that amazing?
Interrogating a poor old lady
Yes.
for wearing a mask.
There was an older lady wearing a mask, and she probably said something to this guy who they said was 25 years old. Hey, maybe you should put the mask on. And this
Yeah.
man berated this senior citizen.
What a douchebag.
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 Should have gotten his ass kicked by every guy on the train right then and there.
Yeah. And you know what was funny? He said, some guy approached him and he said something like, I stand for freedom. I stand for freedom. And he's like, sit down and stop talking. And I'm like, wait a second. You said you stand for freedom and you told this guy to not be free?
Yeah.
That's, what?
Well, normally douchebags are stupid.
Yeah.
And they really don't know right from wrong, or do they?
Yeah.
Guy looked like he was drunk to me.
Yeah.
And he was wearing his little douchebag shorts and his douchebag shirt. And if I was on that train, I'd have douchebagged him right in the fucking jaw.
Yeah.
Because that's what was supposed to happen. Now, of course, people on the internet are looking for this person. I say you don't put him in jail. I say you beat him up on national television and say this is what will happen to you if you act like this to anybody, much less a senior citizen. It's a lady, an older lady.
Yeah.
Now,
yeah.
what if that was your mom and you saw that?
Well, my mom carries a switchblade, so she would.
Never mind. Nothing like asking an Italian daughter. Well, my mother carries a gun. She'd have been fine. She'd have blasted him twice before he said anything once. All right, so I stand corrected. Might as well have my glass of wine now. But it's sad that that shit has to happen.
Yeah.
And then another one of the goofy things that we saw in the news, because we always prep for the show to see what's going on in the world. Everybody seems to have this doorbell. It's called a ring.
Ring, yeah.
Right? And it tells you who's at the front door, and it actually will videotape whoever's there at the time. So some woman calls 911 and says, there's someone breaking into my house. You got to get to the house right away. I guess she was calling from work, from her cell phone, and she's seeing there's something wrong with the button.
Mm-hmm.
So 6 police officers show up. I think this was in the South, because I can only tell by the way they were talking.
Uh-huh.
And they go in the house, looking around, and they can't find nothing. They go back outside, and they have to call the lady to say, hey, listen, there is a bug on your ringer.
Ew.
And that's what the intrusion is. And so the lady says, and this is on tape, you can see it, right? What kind of a bug is it? And the guy goes, well, ma'am, it's a cockroach. And she says, could you kill it for me?
No.
Yes, she did.
That's hysterical.
Could you kill it? Now, they were trying to be funny, but what do we do now? Do we defund the police? Maybe,
No, they kill cockroaches.
maybe we don't. Then we need more cops in New York City.
Oh, yeah.
It was funny because the guy actually goes, Miss, you got a cockroach on your doorbell.
Doorbell.
Yeah, that's the best South I could possibly do. Could you do South?
Yeah. I think I can try.
Oh, wow.
It's like old-fashioned steel magnolia South. That's
Yeah.
what I know. Yeah.
That's really great.
Yeah,
Oh, my
thanks.
God. All of a sudden I was watching The Green Mile.
Yeah.
Yeah. That might have been like Louisiana.
Yeah, I think so.
You were very Louisiana.
Oh, that was Louisiana?
I thought.
Oh, Louisiana's more like this, like a draw where you have to go elongate your mouth. Like,
Oh, you're a badass. This girl just banged out 2 great accents. Yeah, we don't hear New York.
oh, New York I can do because I have a lot of family that talks like this. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. You gotta find out. Marianne. What you said?
All of a sudden, I'm sitting next to Marissa Tomei. Give us a little of that. My clock is ticking like this.
My biological clock is ticking.
I don't know why this isn't happening. I don't see all the people writing in.
I see some people.
Yeah, but there's usually like hundreds of them at this time. Are you guys watching over there? Can you see the people writing in on Facebook? No, huh?
Get on.
Oh, go to Mike Marino Live on Facebook, and you can tune into the show. And normally you see all these people writing in on the left side of the screen. For some reason or other, it's not there right now. And I mean, there it is. Oh, she's gorgeous and talented. What a combination!
Aw,
thank you, Pablo Lewin.
Thanks, Pablo.
Keep writing in, folks. We want to know that we're actually.
I'm going on too. I had it on airplane mode. But
Really strange that there's not that many people, because if you look up at Instagram, there's a couple of thousand right now. And I want everybody watching, because we're going to listen to Vanessa right here. Hey, you already did 3 different accents. You might as well sing 3 different songs.
All right.
So that's what's going on in the news. And of course, we don't want to talk about what's going on in Afghanistan and what the Taliban's doing, because we're a fun show. But boy, I tell you, it really looks horrible. Pam. Okay, let's do this right now, because this just happened, okay?
Okay.
We ordered some food from the local restaurant in the area, and the guy who delivers the food usually comes every once in a while. It's always the same guy. I don't know his name. Pam, I hope you're watching. He delivers the food, and he goes, can I ask you a question? Did you drop by a birthday party on Saturday night? And I said, yes, I did. Why? And he said, because there was a girl sitting at that table that said she's a big fan of yours, and so was her mother and father.
Oh.
And I says, oh, well, I had a fan. She's right there right now, Pam, and she had a birthday party on Saturday night. It was not only her birthday, but it was her daughter's sweet 17. And they asked me if I would drop by as some celebrity drop-by guy.
Oh,
and they
that's
had an 80s theme, so I went. I got my 80s
Rubik's Cube.
Rubik's Cube. Everybody was dressed like they were in the 80s. I, of course, was dressed like I was in the 80s, because I have 80s clothes still.
You just didn't upgrade your wardrobe.
No, never. I just let the hem out. Boom. And so the guy comes to the door and he goes, were you at this particular party? And I said, yeah. And he goes, yeah, I've been kicking it with this girl. And I'm like, well, I got to tell you, she was gorgeous, so good luck. I think he's 20, she's 17, but isn't that kind of cool?
Yeah, that's awesome.
And then he gave us some great food. And so, you know what? Why don't we go from there into the actual food?
Okay.
Because Vanessa here, first of all, tell us your real name.
My real name?
Well, because I know that you're Vanessa and I say Racci. Am I saying that right?
Yeah, Vanessa Racci. Yes.
No, she says it right. I said it like a white guy.
Yeah.
She said Vanessa Racci.
Yeah, you have to make it sexy.
Oh, boy, did she make it sexy. How you do it?
Vanessa Racci.
Could you say that with the Louisiana accent?
Oh, let me see. Vanessa Racci. I don't know. Was that it?
She's kicking ass. 2 for 2. Maybe I should stretch it. Do that like you're from Great Britain.
Oh. Vanessa Rocci? Is it Vanessa Rocci?
Is it Vanessa?
Is it?
Vanessa Rocci.
I should go like this for some reason. Don't know why.
Yeah. It's Vanessa Rocci. Where's she from? Over there. She's 3 for 3. Okay, great.
I always thought I should go to work with an English accent because I would get paid more. I should try it one day.
I always thought if I had an English accent, maybe people would think I'm smarter than I am.
Yeah.
Because saying, hey, how you doing, makes me a little bit lower on the totem pole. So, Vanessa, how do you say your real last name, the Italian last name that I guess you cut down?
My real last name is Racciopo. And I chopped it because people would call me Racci-Pupo. And I was tired of hearing it and like saying, no, that's not how you spell it. Raccioppo, not P-O-O-P-O. So I just chopped it.
Okay, cool. Now we got everybody writing into the show, and they're
Okay.
saying you're very, very hot.
Oh, thank you.
All right, we're going to see that. She's hot, but she's talented. Watch what we're going to do. Stick around, stick around. Thank you so much for everybody letting us know. I would never have assumed that there was P's in your last name. Mm-hmm. Because Vanessa Racci, you don't think there's room for a P.
Yeah, there isn't.
How do you say it? Racciapopo?
Racciopo.
Racciopo. Sounds like a great dinner. I'll have the rochopo with some meatballs.
Well, I looked up that it means like ugly grapes. So
Really?
So I don't need that last name. I could chop
No.
it. Racci.
I bet you in your life you never had anybody go, oh, that's an ugly grape. No.
No.
My last name Marino is Mariner. Has something to do
that's
with the
cool.
water.
That's cool.
In Italy, Marino is a first name, whereas Michael's a middle name. My middle name is Dominic, which in Italy is Dominucci. You know that, right? She's always doing the drum roll. I play the drums. Maybe she brought her piano. I didn't have any
We're not gonna
room
use
for
it.
it,
It's
but
okay.
you never know. We might need it to knock somebody out. How long you been singing?
Since I was 4. Professionally since the age of 12. So a long time.
Professionally meaning like you get paid?
I get paid, right.
At
right.
12.
At 12, yeah. I did Westchester Broadway Dinner Theater. It's a professional theater in Westchester. So, and that's where all the Broadway stars went when they weren't performing on Broadway. And so I sang.
Where actually is Westchester? I think Westchester, I'm thinking Long Island.
No, it's, how do I describe it? It's above the Bronx. It's like when you're leaving Manhattan, you go through the Bronx, the next town is Westchester.
You know what's one of the coolest things about talking to somebody from New York, especially on a show like this? The way she describes where she's from is so different than hundreds of people who are watching this right now. Because I got people in Australia, people in Italy, people in Austria. They laugh at East Coast, or what we say is East Coast terminology, because she said above Bronx.
Everyone knows where the Bronx is. Right?
Everybody knows. It's right over there. It's above it. Where somebody else is going, what the hell does that mean? Is it in the air? Where is it? Is Westchester is it in the clouds?
It hovers on top of the Bronx like Wi-Fi.
But that is so cool that we have that slang. Because in other states, they will tell you the roadway that it intersects. Here, we'll tell you a landmark or something that will confuse the crap out of you and you're never going to see. Or this. Where's Westchester? What are you, stupid? You don't know where it is? It's over there by, that. And then everybody goes, oh, over there. Which is great, isn't it?
Yeah. That's why I use GPS all the time.
What got you into singing?
I don't know. My parents told me that When I was 4 years old, I just started belting out a Whitney Houston song. I just started singing "The Greatest Love of All," and then I started singing at family parties, and they encouraged it. And I don't know what made me start, because everybody in my family is tone deaf. So
Is there a such thing as tone deaf?
yes,
Okay, I'm
my
tone
husband.
deaf.
No, I'm kidding.
Poor guy. I was always told, there's a set of drums over here. I was a drummer. My older brother's a singer. My younger brother plays the bass. We were always in bands, but I always chose to play the drums because even my high school band teacher said, "You're tone deaf. Play the drums." And I used to say, "Well, I'm tone deaf because I play the drums so hard I can't hear." But people told me there's no such thing as tone deaf.
Who said that?
A tone deaf person can learn how to sing.
Oh yeah, you can learn, but you know, you can be tone deaf originally.
But
You can
I
learn,
just
yeah.
could never hit a note. I'll
Yeah.
go way off key.
Yes, but yeah, you can
Even
train
if you
yourself.
play the key, you're like, I'll be like, ah.
Well, sometimes hearing it on the piano is what confuses people. But if the teacher sings the note, you might be more easily able to match it if you hear somebody sing it.
I can do that with accents. If someone
Uh-huh.
does an accent, I can pick up the accent. If I have to create the accent, I can't do it.
Right.
But if the age of 4 or 5 you started singing for your family, it's kind of like what happened to me in my life. I would just look at a TV commercial and I'd go back into the room and I'd say, "Hey, Ma, watch this. Zest is the greatest soap," or something crazy like that. Right now, there's a singer in this town writing in. I just want to acknowledge him really quick because he's saying pitchy. What does that mean?
Oh, when you're off pitch?
Yeah.
You're pitchy, yeah.
I'm very pitchy. I'm
Yeah.
also a bitchy bastard, too. But Mike Novello is in a great band called the Broadcasters, and they're playing at the Feast,
Ooh.
which is the first weekend of September.
Which feast?
The Feast of St. Bart's, which is in
Oh.
4 blocks of this basement. And they're playing, I believe, on September 4 or 5. Mike, tell us if it's September 4 or 5. It's Memorial Day weekend. And they didn't have it last year because of the pandemic. Labor Day
Labor Day.
weekend. What did I say?
Memorial Day.
Labor Day weekend. There's a lot of critics in my basement tonight. Sons of bitches. And it's going to be a lot of fun. I go there for the Zappelers and the cheesesteaks, the hot dogs, the fun, the meatball sandwiches.
I can't listen to this. I can't
But I-
eat any of it.
But I don't have cheese
Me neither.
because, well, we're going to get on that. We're going to get on the lactose
You
intolerant.
should forget about
Right
that.
now, I want to go into some singing and some songs, and I want to hear that I'm not pick. Okay, so there it is, Mike Novello. Sunday of Labor Day. We're all going. I want everybody there. I'm calling all my friends from high school. I'm calling all my friends on the internet. We're going to go watch the show, support my friend Mike Novello.
Okay.
And, maybe if you're not doing anything, you want to come back. But I'm sure you're
Sure.
playing some festivals. So at 5 years old, she's singing. She becomes professional at, what you said, 11?
12. Yeah.
12.
Yeah.
Because somebody paid you to sing. You remember?
Yes, I remember vividly.
Tell us.
I remember I was in this show called The Christmas Voyager at Westchester Broadway Dinner Theater, which closed during the pandemic. I was so bummed about
Forever?
it. Yeah, it's like going to be a warehouse or something now. But
So
anyway.
sad how all these beautiful theaters have closed
I
during the
know.
pandemic. And now again, Broadway, if you're not vaccinated, you can't come in and watch the show. So it's really, really sad. But tell us the joyful part that you
Yes.
got in there at that age.
So I had like 5 costume changes. I was like an elf and I had to come out of a box, and then I was a girl caroling, and then I was an angel, and they had this like lift thing where I came up from under the stage, and they lifted me all the way up to the ceiling. I was so scared I was gonna fall off, and they didn't have any sort of like bungee
Net?
cords or anything on me, so I was just like standing there really stiff, and then I had to sing like "Oh Holy Night." I was like, "Oh, Holy Night."
Really?
I was so scared I was gonna fall off.
Is it hard to sing while your body's hanging in the air? Oh,
No, I was just more scared it was gonna fall, but it wasn't. It wasn't hard to sing.
and they pay you.
And they paid me. Yes. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So this can also be considered an off-Broadway play,
Yes, it was. Yes.
a professional off-Broadway play.
Yes. And I was actually, my father was the lead on in Jekyll and Hyde at the time, and I remember I forgot his name. He's famous on Broadway though.
Oh, wait a minute now. Hold it.
Yeah.
Your father was in Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde on Broadway?
Not my real father, but the guy who played my father.
Oh. All
In
right.
my real father's
The
tone down.
father in the play, he's pitchy.
Yes.
My father's pitchy,
And I
I'm
remember
bitchy.
I was vocalizing in my dressing room, and I was like me, and he sent somebody to knock on the door and say, "Can you please tell her to stop vocalizing? She's distracting me." He was a diva.
Really?
Diva. Yes. So I was like, I didn't warm up before the show.
As an opening act, I have experienced some singing divas.
Mm-hmm.
And they get in arguments with each other backstage. Who sings how many songs? Who sings what song?
Yeah.
And so on and so forth. So, all right, so you become a professional singer technically at 12, and then?
Then I did lots of summer stock. I did lots of plays. I won a Helen Hayes Award for my performance of Christine in Phantom of the Opera. But when I turned 18, my parents asked me what I wanted to do with my life. And I was like, well, I want to be a singer, like, duh. And they were like, no, that's not a real job. Go get a real job. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I don't want to do anything else. And then they encouraged me to go to school for business, and I went to school for business. And I sang at the same time. I always studied privately, and I continued to do my, what I loved. And but I simultaneously worked my way up the corporate ladder at PepsiCo, and I became a marketing executive. And this year, I quit.
Right. You quit your job
Yes.
the night we had my show down here, the Not So Late Show with Mike Marino.
Yep.
And she made the announcement, I'm not going to work a regular job. I'm going for the gold as a singer.
Yes.
And so that was like 3 or 4 months ago.
The pandemic inspired me. I was like, life is too short. Being chained to a desk and, wishing that I could spend more time on what I love is not living. So I'm like, thankfully, I'm fortunate enough to be able to do that. And I left.
And now we're going to hear about where we are all going to get to see Vanessa perform now that she quit what the civilians in the world say the real job, because this is fake. We're really not here. Right now, you get a nice compliment from Sal Manzo. Do you know Sal Manzo?
Yes, we
Hey,
sang
Sal.
together. Yes, I know Sal.
Sal's been on the show.
Yeah.
And Sal, I actually want to talk to you because I was offered a show in Florida in November, and I think maybe you should do the show with me. So we got to get back in touch with Sal.
He's got a great voice.
He's got a great voice. He's
Yeah.
a great guy. He came down here and he sang
Uh-huh.
on the show a cappella. Maybe this is a good time for me to say, maybe you should sing that Whitney Houston song that you
Oh.
were talking about.
Oh God, I don't sing that anymore.
No?
I'd have to work on it before I
All right,
sing
well,
it.
You were saying that you would like to teach me how to sing.
Yes.
Now, we could do that as a closer because it's not going to be all that good.
Yes.
But how do you teach? And you do teach?
Yes, I do teach.
All right.
So
Well, if
do
anybody wants singing lessons, I guess you can contact Vanessa. I'm going to have a glass of wine right now, and I'm going to talk about where I got that bottle of wine. And Vanessa
Sure.
is going to teach us and tell us where she can, where you guys can find out how to sing.
Sure.
Are you ready to have your
And that's
glass
the first
of
thing
wine?
you can't do when you're singing. You can't drink wine. Just
really?
FYI.
Wine don't go with a
Yeah,
singer?
you can't have any dairy, nothing acidic, no alcohol. It just messes with.
One of the
inner
reasons
workings.
why I'm not a singer is because I'm lactose intolerant. And lactose intolerant singers are bitchy. I mean, pitchy. We found our through line for this show.
Yes.
It's called bitchy.
Yep, that's
Um,
it. That's it.
Sing it, Vanessa. All right. Well, you just got
Thank
a
you.
request.
Oh, all right, all right.
Wait a minute.
So,
what are
yeah.
we singing?
Well, I'm gonna do a little Italian because I love the way the language rolls off my tongue.
While Vanessa
So-
sings this song, I'm going to pour me a glass of wine and a 1 and a 2.
All right, all right. So I'm gonna do one that I love from Connie Francis, who's a favorite of mine. She inspired my look and some of my voice, and it's a beautiful love song. It's an old Neapolitan song from like the early, I think it's the late 1800s, I believe.
Before you
It's
sing
called-
the song, could you
yeah.
set up Connie Francis
Set
to
it up.
some of the people who might not know who she is?
Oh yes, Connie Francis. She's a legend. She is an Italian-American singer from Newark, New Jersey, actually, right? She's from Newark?
Oh, the best
Yeah.
talent always comes from New Jersey.
Yes, it's true. Blue Eyes, Bon Jovi, who else? Tony
Springsteen.
Bennett, Springsteen, everybody.
Tony Bennett, who just retired. Cheers, Tony.
Cheers, Tony. Yes. Salute, Centani.
But she's also was in a lot of movies, right?
Yes. Oh my God. She was, what do I want to say? She was a really successful woman in a man's world at the time. And like there were so many Italian American singers like Bobby Darin and Frank Sinatra and Jimmy Roselli and Louis Prima. And she was really like one of the only Italian American females at the top of the charts. So she's super impressive. She was super smart too. Like she was a bookworm. She sang in, 10 different languages. She was really, really intelligent. She played the accordion. I read her book, by the way. It's called Among My Souvenirs. And it's about her life and how she was so like controlled by her father and the tragic love story between her and Bobby Darin. Oh my God, it's so interesting, by the way. She was really ahead of her time. But anyway, look her up, Connie Francis. And her real name was Concetta Franconero. And she chopped it like a lot of Italians were doing at the time.
Like you now.
Well, it's still Italian though, Racci.
Right.
There's still a vowel.
Yeah, Francis might not be considered Italian, huh?
Yes, no, it's not.
But wasn't she in, was it Gidget? No. Something at the beach? Didn't she do the beach movies?
She did a beach
movie.
I forgot the
I'm
name
thinking
of
of
it.
somebody else.
Maybe you're thinking of Annette Funicello?
Annette Funicello, yeah.
My dad had a huge crush on her.
All right, well, listen, some people are asking me if I'm going to do backup dancing.
Oh, yeah, I would like to see
Not
that.
right now.
I would like to see that.
All right, could you grace us with
All right.
one of these particular songs that you're telling us
Sure.
about?
All right, so I'll do a little. I wish we had a mandolin. Na voce na chitarra pochi luna e che chiude fa na serenata per sospiro d'amore chiana chiana parole dolci ben innamorate ti voglio bene tanto tanto bene lontano a ti non posso più campare una voce una chitarra pochi luna e come dolce che sta serenata avvocato ascolta più vicina e tutta stringa me più appassionata che na chitarra no vinilo e voci che de vicino canto e so felice amore non posso più scudarmi a te. It's a little. Thank you, brava, brava. Grazie, grazie.
Holy smokes! Live from my mother's basement, Vanessa Racci came down to pay us a visit. And we're having a great glass of wine, we're having great conversations, and we're getting a history lesson of some of the other people in the industry from back in the day. I just got to tell you real quickly that Michael Novello, who is in the broadcasters that we talked about, who's going to be playing at the feast, wrote in one of the greatest guests I've had on the show. He's a big fan of yours.
Aw.
Jimmy Palumbo is saying great song. Gina's saying great song. Bravo,
you.
says Michael Novello. Ciao Bella, bace e cazon bravo. That's from Pablo Lewin.
Oh, voice and song is beautiful, I think, or good,
Oh.
or something like that. Voce canzone.
Excellent. All right. Well, I'm so glad that that all came through like that. That was a great song, of course, and I think it's amazing that you can sing in another language. I guess a
you.
lot of singers who do opera or Italian
Yeah.
singers sing in Italian.
Yes, you have to.
Do you have original songs that you do?
I do. I have a couple. Yeah.
You want to lay one on us?
Oh, sure.
You were not ready for that?
No, I can do it. It's just about my
we
husband
we
trying to
structure
leave
the
me.
show, but sometimes we don't structure the show.
So this song is about a guy who I'm currently with who tried to leave me once. And I said, no effing way. I'm gonna.
You can curse on this show.
Oh, I can?
Yes.
No fucking way.
There you go.
You must be crazy. Okay, it's a jazz tune, so you have to.
Jazz.
How could you just walk away after the many memories we've made? How can you be so sure? How do you know? You've never done this before, and it hurts me to see you go, leaving me here with what I don't know. I don't know what I do now, but I know I'm gonna get you back somehow. I'm gonna run until I catch you. I'm gonna drive until I find you. I'm gonna talk until I change your mind and you come back home with me.
Oh, that is hot. So was that the song that got him back?
I don't know, was it?
Our husband's in the crowd right now, a crowd of one. And he's having some dinner watching the show. Great guy. And so what exactly happened that made you write that song? Can we ask these questions? I mean, he's right
Sure.
over there.
Well, he wants to have a baby. I wasn't so sure, and so he was like, well,
Oh.
you know, I think I'm going to go find somebody else who wants to have a baby. And I was like, wait. You're going to find just some other vagina to have a baby? Like, and give this up? And he came to his senses.
I like the way she put that. Wait a minute, you're just going to look for any vagina?
Right?
You're going to have this one.
Right.
And this one sings.
Yes.
And now I'm going to write a song to break your chops. And I'll get that printed and put it on the radio. And you'll be driving down, I don't know, the highway, crying, listen to me going, however you sang what you sang.
Yes.
Bam. All right. This is fantastic. All right. I am wearing an Asbury Park shirt. This Asbury Park shirt is a replica of when they used to have rides down there. And this is the Scooter. The guy used to work the Scooter. And this is the Palace Theater. And Asbury Park is very famous around the world in Asbury Park, New Jersey, because of singers like Bruce Springsteen and Bon Jovi and the Paramount Theater and Stone Pony. So I just thought it would be cool that I wear this shirt while we talk about her goals and where she's going to be singing, because New Jersey really is a mecca of incredible talent.
Yes.
Whether it be actors or singers, comedians. A lot of people come out of New Jersey
You don't
and
say
the
so
Jersey
yourself.
Shore. Well, no, when I didn't even mean myself, because Abbott and Costello come out of New Jersey. The Marx Brothers played at the Paramount in Asbury Park in the 40s.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
And even Jerry Lewis is from New Jersey, and so many of these great entertainers, and a lot of them have Italian last names. So I'm sure I'm going to forget a few. But we would love to see you perform in Asbury Park. So why don't you tell
Sure.
everybody where we can actually find you now, and that the
Yes.
album that I think you brought here when you came to sing on the show.
Yes. So the hub for everything in my life is my website, www.vanessaracci.com. I will spell that, VANESSARACCI.com. And that's where you can get my music. You can find out my show schedule. You can contribute to my new album that I'm raising funds for right now, which is the history of Italian American influence on jazz music. You can follow me on social media. Like, you can do everything from that website. And then my upcoming shows, I think you asked me that, right? Did you ask me that?
Yes, please.
Are-
Tell everybody.
So I'm doing a Gershwin show. Actually, it's not Italian, but I'm doing the songs of Gershwin for the Columbus Citizens Foundation on September 9th to celebrate his birthday in September. Then I've got San Gennaro, New York City, coming up.
Slow down.
Sorry.
I want to go to San Gennaro.
Yes.
I don't think they had it last year because of the
No,
pandemic.
they didn't.
Feast of San Gennaro worldwide, wherever they have it around the world, whether it's in Vegas, Chicago, New York City. We used to have it in Los Angeles for a little while. In different parts of the country, they usually all try to structure it in September.
Yes.
New York was known for having 2 weeks.
Yes, they're having it for 2 weeks.
Really?
Yeah, this year, yeah.
2
The
weeks.
16th through the 26th.
I'm only going to assume this year should be packed. Usually people who go to the feast are usually happy. Nobody's going to be looking to cause trouble, have a riot, none of the above. It's all about a sausage sandwich with onions and peppers and listening to the entertainers. So,
Yes.
Vanessa's going to be down there performing.
Yes.
I'm going to get you on the Italian American radio. I'm going to get you on the
Ooh.
Wise Guys show. You need to be on all these guys' shows.
I
They're
would
all
love
friends of mine. Johnny Mandolini plays the mandolin.
Yes.
And Johnny, if you watch, and you got to have Vanessa on your show because they do it live from the street where you're going to be performing.
Oh, great. Perfect.
I don't mean to interrupt, but I'm actually really excited
That's
now because
great,
this is
yeah.
where I want to go.
Yeah.
You know, there's nothing better in my mind than going to the Feast of San Gennaro.
It's biggest
Just-
in the world.
Just when the sun's coming down, it's a little cool. You got your sausage peppers in your hand. The oil is going down your elbow. You're yelling at somebody, "Shut up! I'm listening to Vanessa." That's happiness. And you found the place to park.
Yes, yes, exactly.
So where are you going to be?
I'm going to be on the main stage with which I believe is Grand and Mulberry on Friday, September 24th from 7 to 9 p.m.
I'm sorry, I was reading some emails. Say that again.
That's okay.
Because, like, I'm excited. I have to go now. I could be in the audience
Yay.
going, "I'm over here.
Yeah.
Do you
Aw.
remember me? How does it? Does it got oil?
He's got,
I got the oil on my arm.
The
I'm
Earl.
the bitchy. I mean, the stitchy. What am I?
The pitchy bitchy.
I'm the pitchy bitch.
September 24th, 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern, obviously.
September 24.
It's Friday,
And what time?
7 to 9 p.m.
Are you listening? She's got the best time slot. People, there's one thing that an entertainer like myself knows. To get Friday night and that time, didn't I just say the time of the best? When the
Yes.
sun goes down
It's
and you're eating your
perfetto.
sausage. She's got the bet. That tells you one thing. She's top notch. It tells you something else. She shouldn't be in the basement. She's above
No,
this.
this is the
She's
place to be.
above the Bronx. Another callback on the show. Thank you very much. I'll be here all Tuesday. Isn't this great? She's going to be at the Feast of San Gennaro.
Yeah, I'm so excited because I haven't done it I didn't do it last year, obviously, and I know a lot of my fans like to come to that. And it's just so much. The energy is amazing. The vibe, like everybody's on the street singing along. Oh, Lottie. It's just like it's magical.
You have
It's
your,
magical.
your set list and everything?
Oh yeah.
You know what you're going to do?
Oh yeah.
I don't even know how to describe it because I'm overwhelmed and joyed because I loved being part of the Feast of San Gennaro in L.A.
Uh-huh.
And
Yeah,
for
yeah.
10 years, I was always hosting the Prima Notte, and that's where I met all the singers, like the people who were hanging with Connie Francis, my cousin Peter Lemongello,
Yes.
Dina Martin, all these
Love
classic
Dina.
people,
Yes.
Anita Baker, Lou Rawls, and just so many people that I got to introduce as a comedic host.
Yeah. Oh,
And I
cool.
never sang a song. Once and twice they would say, "Hey, why don't you come out and sing a song?" And I'm like, "Shut off the microphone." And I know how to move and groove, but I sound like crap. And the first time I actually did it was Junior, one of the juniors, who, "Hey, Marie, oh Marie, ba 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 da, ba ba." What's his name?
Quando zona giovere-
What's his name?
Dean Martin, right?
No, not Dean Martin. Maybe I got the wrong song. It was another guy that Dean Martin and Frank Sinatra thought was like the greatest. They were him before him.
Bing Crosby.
Not Bing Crosby, not Sammy Davis. Son of a bitch. He was Italian.
Jimmy Rosselli.
No.
Louis Prima.
Louis Prima. I was the opening act for Louis Prima Jr. and The Witness.
Oh, cool.
They had a girl in the band too. She sings like you.
Really? I think
She
it's
was
his
great.
wife. I think it's
I don't
his
know.
wife.
But Louis Prima Jr., he would do the show. I was the opening act, and he said, "Come out and do the closing song."
Oh,
And I
cool.
played the drums on the song, and then I played a kazoo,
How cool!
and then I faked the singing.
And I know his.
When the Saints Come Marching In was the song. I faked the whole thing. When the Saints come marching in, I faked the whole thing. I don't even. They were going crazy. See how good I could dance?
I would love
Dun,
to
dun,
be
dun,
at
dun,
the
dun,
place
dun.
where the
Dun,
saints
dun,
go
dun,
marching
dun,
in.
dun, 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 dun. Hey, I did it!
That's great.
So this is so exciting. Everybody, I want you to go to the Feast of San Gennaro this year. Enjoy yourself. Go late in the day Friday when the weather starts to cool off.
7 to 9.
7 to 9, she takes the main stage, not the little stage, not the one in Chinatown, not the one in Greek Town, in Little Italy's main stage. And you could say, wow, I saw her on Live from My Mother's Basement. And here she is. Then you get up there and you get an autograph and you buy the album.
Aw, how
Right?
nice. Yes, that'd be great.
How exciting.
I'm super excited.
It must be
And-
such a great feeling to know you got booked in the most incredible spot.
It is. Very excited about it.
Prime spot.
And then I have another thing to share too.
Bingo, go.
Like big news on this
Big
podcast.
news.
I haven't announced the San Gennaro yet, so this is the first time you're hearing it. First time. And I haven't announced this next big news. So the Columbus Citizens Foundation has commissioned myself and my friend Charlie Poveromo to do a Connie Francis, Bobby Darin revival. And so we're going to do a show called Forbidden Love that tells the tragic love story of Connie Francis and Bobby Darin through song. And so we're going to be singing all of their hits, Mac the Knife, Where the Boys Are, Al di là, Non pensare a me, Dream Lover, Beyond the Sea, you name it. We're going to sing it.
Holy
So-
mackerel, where's that going to be?
It's going to be at the Columbus Citizens Foundation to start. So that's in East 69th and Park, I believe, in Manhattan. And then we're going to, pitch the show around and see who wants to take us. So we're going to have an orchestra, like full band. It's going to be really, really magical. I
Somebody said you look like Gina Lola Brigida.
hope. Oh, really?
That's fantastic.
That's quite the
Thank you
compliment.
very much, Pablo Lewin.
She was like, I think, like the hottest Italian American female actress or something.
Oh, we got the new one now. Her name is Vanessa Racci, and she's kicking ass, and those songs are great. I was telling Vanessa that my cousin called me this weekend. My cousin's Peter Lemongello, and Peter Lemongello was a pretty big name singer back in the 70s. He scored some big hits on the charts, and he's good friends with Connie Francis. About 5 or 6 years ago, he brought Connie Francis to watch me perform at the Boca Black Box in Boca Raton, Florida, and it
sounds
was
swanky.
really, really great. It is.
The Boca
You should be
Black
playing there
Box.
too. We're gonna make that happen. And it was really nice of him. So we were speaking over the weekend because my cousin was telling me about how we're related to all these specific people from Italy and how I'm related to Peter Lemongello because my aunt married into that family. So
Cool.
it's pretty cool, and it's really great to be part of all of this from a comedy standpoint, because every once in a while they know that having an opening act to do some jokes before a singer walks out on stage actually works really,
Oh,
really
yeah.
well.
You need a warm-up person.
Yeah, I got to break it down in case
Yeah.
anybody wants to go to the bathroom. I'm like, no. Vanessa's coming.
And you got to tell people that they can't clap or snap unless they have good rhythm.
Yes.
That always bothers me. When
Oh,
it's
really?
like I'm singing a song and you get these people that are like, I'm like,
You want to take your Walkman off? The songs like this, baby. Yeah. I remember one time I was opening for Dina Martin. We were in Vegas, and the band leader goes, all right, let's cue up the comedian. Hey, listen, we're going to do 8 bars. You walk out. And I'm like, huh? What's that? A chocolate bar? What kind of bar? What kind of bar? You come out and 8. 8? Who's 8? I didn't eat. What? Scared the shit out of me.
That's so funny.
And he's going like this while he's playing. Now? Then later on, I was breaking his chops. Get off the stage.
That's so
So,
funny. Dina's
all right.
such a nice person, by the way. I
Oh,
love
you know
her.
Dina as well. We're
Oh.
talking about Dean Martin's daughter, Dina Martin, who tours and sings like her dad.
Mm-hmm.
How do you know Dina?
I met her at the Friars Club a while ago, and then I reached out to her during the pandemic because I was producing a virtual Festa della Donna, and I asked her if she would be our guest of honor, and she agreed, and she did it gratis, and it was like the nicest thing. Her and her husband John put in so much effort. It's very, very, very nice.
I
We
love
appreciate it.
these guys. We're talking
Yes.
about, in my mind, Hollywood royalty.
Yes, they are.
Because-
Italian Hollywood royalty.
Italian Hollywood royalty. When I toured with Dina Martin, and I hope that we're going to tour again, when she tells the stories of her life and who her neighbors were and what her dad was all about, you just pull up a block and listen.
Mm-hmm.
It's really incredible. And speaking of that, how about the history of you and being Italian and your family?
Oh, that's just as interesting as the history of
It
Dean
is.
Martin.
It
No, I'm
is.
kidding.
It is right now. We're in the basement. Go.
Oh, so what I want to share. I think I shared most of this, but oh yeah, so I grew up singing since the age of 4, and I learned all the old Italian songs from my grandfather, who is Barese, so from Bari. And I haven't been there yet. I need to go there. I was actually going to go this year, but we're postponing until we can go to Italy. But anyway, so he used to blast, Dean Martin, Connie Francis, Louis Prima, Jimmy Roselli, you name it, he would play it in the house. And because we lived in the same house, I heard it and I absorbed it all. And my grandpa was kind of like my best friend. Like, we shared cannolis together, we split pasticciotis. He'd pick me up from school, he'd make me frittata for Italian class. And
I love a frittata.
he would always keep my secrets too. Like, I would sneak out of the house to go meet with boys, and he'd be like, "Grandpa sees you," and I was like, "Grandpa, I'll split a pasticciati with you if you be quiet." And he's like, "All right." And I could always bribe him with some pastry. So anyway, so I had a great relationship with my grandpa, which was, I guess, atypical for someone of my age. Like, I'm a millennial, and a lot of millennials don't live with their grandparents, and so I feel like I'm an old soul because of that. Like, he was born in 1913. He fought in World War II. So I grew up with all those stories and that music. And so when he passed away, I wanted to keep that music alive in a way to keep his memory alive. And that's when I launched my first album, Italiana Fresca. And then I was thankful, very fortunate to be able to perform that around the country. And after performing it in New Orleans, I learned about the rich history of Italian Americans and how they influenced jazz music since like the early 1900s. And I did a lot of research on it, and then that inspired me to work on my next album, which I'm releasing hopefully beginning of next year, which is the history of Italian jazz. And I'm going to start from the very beginning with Nick LaRocca, who was he formed the very first Dixieland jazz band, and he was a Sicilian American. And then I'm going to go through like Giuseppe Venuti, Henry Mancini, Louis Prima, Guy Lombardo, Harry Warren, John Pizzarelli, and all of the great Italians that contributed to jazz music.
Isn't that absolutely fantastic that she knows so much about the history of these legendary singers, especially since they come from the Italian background? And I happen to have gotten her to come down to the basement. Let's take in some questions. If anybody wants to say hello to Vanessa and you have any questions you'd like to ask her, and then we're going to wrap it up with hopefully a closing song.
Oh.
And maybe I'll do some backup vocals.
Yeah, you have to sing with me.
I'll sing with you. Pick a song that I might know the words to, like Happy Birthday. I performed this past Thursday night at a place where I'm going to see if I can't get Vanessa to perform. I performed at a funeral home.
Ooh.
And that funeral home is a legendary funeral home from way back in the day. It was called the Frank E. Campbell Funeral Home on Madison Avenue at 83rd Street. I actually drove into the city for the first time in years.
People were dying to see him.
Yeah, they would dead on arrival. And I learned that you could buy a $175,000 coffin. I don't know who got that kind of money. And if I knew that there was a $175,000 coffin 6 feet in the ground, I'd go get it. I'll sell it. Anyway, they gave us a bottle of wine. This is our pay. I just think it's really great that they gave me this leather case. And if you look at this leather case that the wine came in, it makes you think, you should just take a knife up and down it like a barber's chair.
Can I smell it? I like
Yes.
the smell of leather.
So what do we got?
It smells great.
What region is Vanessa from in Italy, says Jean Marie Wilson Keenan.
Hi, Jean Marie Wilson Keenan. So my family is from all over southern Italy. So they're from Napoli, Calabria, and 2 areas of Puglia, Bari and Monteleone di Puglia.
All right. Thank you so much, Jean Marie Wilson Keenan. And what town are you from, she asks as well.
What town, like now? Or
family?
Or my family.
Yeah.
Oh, so Bari, Monteleone di Puglia, Avellino, and I don't know where in Calabria, but somewhere in Calabria.
All right. We got another question from Anthony Rena. He wants to know, Vanessa, what is your favorite Connie Francis song?
Ooh. That's so hard. I do love Al Di La. That's my favorite.
Al Di La.
Mm-hmm.
I actually am not a big fan of Alibaba. It's a little on the slow side. I like more upbeat tunes.
Oh, I like the emotional, heart-wrenching ballads.
Yes. Yeah, I like to move and groove. I want you guys to sing Dean Martin's That's Amore.
Oh,
We might do that.
yeah.
Vanessa should perform everywhere, says Gina Marie.
Thank you, Gina Marie.
Dora Fortino from Fortino Winery in Gilroy, California. Oh, I need to send you more vino. Oh, well, that's not a question. But okay, Dora. Nothing like wine being sent over. Massimo Battista.
Ooh, what a name.
He's from Italy. He's from Napoli.
Oh.
Hello, Massimo. Say hello to my friend Massimo
Ciao,
Battista.
Massimo.
Thank you so much for writing, Massimo. Would you hand me those 2 bottles of wine? Massimo Battista is going to be sponsoring Mike Marino live on tour, and I think I'm going to have a special guest on my show again.
Ooh.
Maybe we'll sing and do comedy together.
That'd be fun.
Massimo gave me these 2 bottles of wine, which soon will be purchasable on the internet. This one's called Chooch. And this one's called Capiche.
Capiche, I love it. That's so funny.
Now, Vanessa, of course, speaking Italian, laughed at this immediately because she knows what it means. How do you say Chooch, and what does it mean to you?
Chucciarolo, right?
Chucciarore.
It means somebody who's a boob, right? Like you're a real.
You're a knucklehead.
You're a boob.
Some people are saying things like, "Oh, it's a donkey." It's just funny. It's
Yeah.
Chooch. What are you, a Jooch? My mother used to say, "Don't
Yeah.
be a Jooch.
Don't be a chooch. Yeah.
Don't be a Chooch."
Yeah.
All right, great vid, guys. Is Vanessa fluent in Italian? And that's
No.
coming from Ron Williams,
Oh.
Vincent Ron Williams, who got me into stand-up comedy when I was 12, 13
how
years
cool.
old. Used to live here in Scotch
And
Plains.
he's
We went to school together.
Still with you. That's amazing.
Dora said jackass for some reason. Oh, she's saying Jooch means jackass.
Oh, okay.
Massing Batista, God bless. Oh, that's from one guy to another. Okay. I love when people write to each other and ignore you and me.
Hey, as long as they're having fun, you know.
All right, some more questions for Vanessa before we take off.
Want to learn how to sing?
Here's one.
Any singing tips?
My grandfather was from, okay, that's not a question. My family is from, and that's not a question either. Okay, my audience never pays attention. Does anybody have any questions?
Questions have a question mark at the
Vanessa.
end. They're
Can
not
Vanessa
statements.
sing, as Christine, something from Phantom of the Opera?
Oh, not anymore.
Oh.
I'd have to warm up the high soprano.
I understand.
That question's coming from her husband. I don't know how that happened. LOL, you guys are cracking me up. Well, send us some more wine and we'll be even 10 times funnier. All right, here's what we're going to do.
Yeah.
Of course we do. Well, hey, we want to thank everybody for watching tonight. We had a lot of fun.
Grazie mille.
And after you do the Feast of San Gennaro, where are you going to be?
After that, I will be at the Ulster County Festival, Italian Festival in Kingston, New York, on October 10th, 3 p.m. Be there with my full band with horns, rocking it out with Italian jazz. And then after that is the Connie Francis Bobby Darin show. After that, I start getting into Christmas jazz shows. So I do virtual shows for Christmas, and maybe in person if we're allowed to.
Let's hope, ladies and
Yes.
gentlemen, that the world goes back to being somewhat normal, just a little bit, so us entertainers can get back on stage and make you guys forget about the problems of the world through comedy and song.
Yes.
I have a lot of shows this week. Thursday night, I'm going to be at Calandra's and the Caldwells here in New Jersey. Friday night, I'm going to Villa Roma up in
Oh.
upstate New York.
That's where I met my first boyfriend.
Your husband's here.
Sorry, Joe Simeone was his name.
And he said she said the name.
He might be watching.
All right. Yeah, he might be somewhere. He's busy right now. He's trying to regurgitate the song she sang from before. Anyhow, Saturday night I'll be at the Greenbrook Theater right here in Greenbrook, New Jersey. Sunday night I will be at the Surflight Theater in Long Beach Island. And on Monday night, I'm doing a special show. It's called Friends of Colette at the Ridgefield Playhouse
Ooh.
in Connecticut.
It's a
All
nice
my
place.
shows. You've been there?
No, but I've heard of it.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
1,500 seat, beautiful theater. I got a lot of theaters that I'm booking for next year, so hopefully we could do some shows together because a lot of
Great.
people, why not combine music and comedy. See everything all in one shot.
Yeah.
And then you'll see me do the closing song with my bitchy
Bitchy.
tone thing. All my shows are listed at MikeMarino.net. So we're gonna get going. Why don't you take us out with that song that Pablo Lewin was asking about? What was it?
We should do Che La Luna. That's a fun one because you like upbeat.
Well, I don't know the words.
Che La Luna,
I know the
that's
song.
You just have to clap.
Oh.
Everybody should say Che La Luna.
Oh, wait a minute now. We got 2 more minutes, so let's do it on our way out.
Okay, ready?
We're gonna do it on our way out. I want to thank everybody for watching tonight's show. I want to thank my producer, Tatiana Blue Show, for always making us put these great shows on. We've both been checked for COVID. We both have shots. We do what we're supposed to be doing right here live. We're here every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock live from my mother's basement. We have our motto to make America Italian again. I promise you, we don't know nothing, we don't see nothing, we don't say nothing. And we close every single one of my shows by saying the same thing. Just say it real quick. You don't take no shit from nobody.
I don't take no shit
We
from
don't
nobody?
take
Oh,
no
we
shit.
don't
We
take
don't take no shit from nobody.
We don't take any shit
So
from
keep on
anybody.
watching the show. We're on all kinds of great social media, all right? We're going to end tonight's show on this song, okay,
Yeah,
Vanessa?
you have to raise your glass in the air.
Raise your glass in the air. Here we
Ready?
go.
Actually, I should clap. C'è la luna mezzo mare, mamma mia, mi dare. Clap. Figlia mia, chiude dare, mamma mia, pensaci. Si ci dugno luba bere, idu vai, idu veni, luba dugno manu deni. Si ci piglia la fantasia, mica dugno la figlio mia. Oh mamma, pesce fritta bacalà.
Oh mamma,
pesce fritta bacalà.
oh mamma.
Pesce fritta bacalà. Oh mamma, pesce fritta bacalà.
Good night, everybody. Thank you. I sang a song.
That's fun.
Uh-oh. Okay. Oh, that was fantastic.
That was great.
You're so cute.
That was a quick hour.
Yeah, good. That's good that you said that. That means it was entertaining.
Yeah, absolutely.
Have a seat. Let's have a glass of wine. I'm just going to
Sure,
program.
let's
So
do
much
it.
fun.
I'm gonna take this off.
So your wife was watching the show, huh?
I texted her and said, look at it, and she goes, I can't see it.
Live from my mother's basement.
Yeah. And then I sent her back a note, I guess she found it. Yeah, so my wife was texting. So you were Christine?
Yes. A long time ago, I used to have like a high soprano voice, but I stopped singing that music because I didn't go into the opera route. So my voice is low now.
I've probably seen that musical probably 15 times.
Yes.
And I've seen it in London.
With special guest,
And
singer Vanessa Racci. Vanessa, what is your at
What is my what?
on Instagram? Your at.
Oh, my at Vanessa Racci, VANESSA RACCI. Let me see. At Vanessa Racci. Yeah, why am I not coming up? It's weird. Can I try it again?
Sure. Don't push send. I gotta
I
do
won't.
some labeling.
At Vanessa.
Hey folks, I hope you're enjoying watching my podcast live from my mother's basement. We're having a lot of fun and I'm going to have a lot of great guests on the show in the future. So if you like it, hit like. You could also leave a comment. You could subscribe to my YouTube channel and watch other funny videos. And you could also listen to my podcast on your favorite podcast app like Spotify and iTunes.